Hi everyone, welcome to our next topic, perfect numbers. Perfect numbers have already been defined in my previous videos. Let's have a quick recap. Given any positive integer n, if the summation n is equal to 2 times n, we say that n is a perfect number. Or if the sum of the proper divisors equals the number itself, we say the number is a perfect number. Let's look at Euclid's theorem which defines perfect numbers. It says if n greater than equal to 2 is an integer such that 2 to the power n minus 1 is a prime, then capital N, which is 2 to the power n minus 1 brackets 2 to the power n minus 1, is a perfect number. After 2000 years, Euler proved the converse. His theorem states if capital N is equal to 2 to the power n minus 1 brackets 2 to the power n minus 1 is an even perfect number, then 2 to the power n minus 1 is prime. Let's take an example. What if we take number 6? Now, what are the proper divisors of 6? 1, 2 and 3. Let's add these divisors. You will see we get the number itself. So this is what one of the definitions says. When we add the proper divisors of the number and we get the number itself, then we say that the number is a perfect number. So here 6 is a perfect number. Now, the other definition that n will be a perfect number if sigma of n is equal to 2n. Let's check this. So what is sigma of 6? Sigma of 6 will be sigma of 2 into 3, which is sigma of 2 into sigma of 3, and we know that sigma of 2 is 3 and sigma of 3 is 4 because both of them are prime numbers. We just add 1 to them to get the summation. Now, this is nothing but 12 and you can see that 12 is nothing but 2 into 6. So, the other definition is also true. Let us now take n to be 2 and check Euclid's theorem. So, now if n is 2, you can see that the term 2 to the power 2 minus 1, which is 3, is prime. And according to the theorem, the term 2 to the power 2 minus 1 into 2 to the power 2 minus 1 then becomes a perfect number. So if you simplify this, you can see that this is nothing but 2 into 3, which is 6. So 6 is a perfect number according to the Euclid's theorem. Now, let's see what Euler's theorem states when we take n to be 2. In this case, you can see the number n, which will now become 2 to the power 2 minus 1. 2 to the power 2 minus 1 is an even perfect number. We already know that this is 6 and 6 is an even perfect number. So then the Euler's theorem states that the term 2 to the power 2 minus 1 will be prime. And we can see this term is nothing but 3 and 3 is a prime. This said, perfect numbers represent the happy medium between abundance and deficiency. Clark W.E. says something Euclid's knowledge that 2 to the power p minus 1 brackets 2 to the power p minus 1 is perfect when 2 to the power p minus 1 is a prime may have been his motivation for defining prime numbers. Some biblical scholars considered 6 a perfect number as they believed God created world in 6 days and God's work is perfect. But Saint Augustine believed otherwise. He says 6 is a number perfect in itself, not because God created everything in 6 days. As this number is perfect, it would remain perfect even if the work of 6 days did not exist. Ancient Greeks thought that these numbers had mystical powers and called them good. The Pythagoreans are credited for coining the name perfect numbers. According to them, 6 equates to marriage, beauty and health due to the integrity and agreement of its parts. They were also studied by the early Hebrews. Rabbi Joseph ben Yehuda in the 12th century in his book Healing of Souls mentions them. The 1st century philosopher of Alexandria, Philo Judaeus, called 6 as the most projective, being the smallest perfect number. The four perfect numbers 6, 28, 496 and 8128 are attributed to Nicomachus of Gerasa. He listed them in his book Introductio Arithmetica. According to him, perfect numbers strike a harmony between extremes of excess and deficiency. He mentions that 6, 28, 496 and 8128 lie in the intervals 110, 10,100, 100,000 and 1,000, 10,000, and that they end in 6 and 8. In the 10th century play Sapentier, Hotswet, the first female German poet, lists the first four perfect numbers. After these four perfect numbers, the next number was given by Hudaldricus Regius in 1536. In 1588, the Italian mathematician Cataldi gave the next two. Then, in 1750, Euler gave the eighth perfect number, and that is how they were discovered over the time. In the medieval period, a lot of conjectures were made which turned out to be false. The first one, there is a perfect number between any two consecutive powers of 10. There is a perfect number n-digit log for every positive integer n, and all perfect numbers alternatively end in 6 and 8. But we know that only even ones do that and not necessarily alternatively. Let's look at some facts about perfect numbers. The even perfect numbers are of the form 2 to the power p minus 1 brackets 2 to the power p minus 1, where p and 2 to the power p minus 1 are both primes. The last digit of every even perfect number is always 6 or 8. If 2 to the power p minus 1 is a Mersenne prime, then 2 to the power p minus 1 brackets 2 to the power p minus 1 is a perfect number. If n is even and perfect, then there is a Mersenne prime 2 to the power p minus 1 such that n is equal to 2 to the power p minus 1 into 2 to the power p minus 1. So far, no one has found odd perfect numbers. Up to 10 to the power 300, there is no odd perfect number. This was given by Brent Cohen and Royal. Only even perfect numbers of the type n to the power n plus 1 is 28. The largest perfect number is 2 to the power 82589932 brackets 2 to the power 82589933 minus 1. The only perfect number of the form 2 to the power k into 3 into p, where p is an odd prime, are 120 and 6, 72. G.L. Cohen proved that largest prime factor of an odd perfect number exceeds 10 to the power 6. D.E. Iannucci proved second prime factor exceeds 10 to the power 4 and third prime factor exceeds 100. Paul Weiner proved if 3 into sigma n is equal to 5n, for some n, then 5n must be an odd perfect number. Product of two even perfect numbers cannot be a perfect number. It is said perfect numbers certainly never did any good, but they never did any particular harm. Thank you for watching. Our next video will be on Sophie Germain primes. For detailed notes, class lectures and practice problems, you can go to my website www.profpreetivajpayee.com.